As more and more shocking details about the Epstein case come to light, it has become clear that Jeffrey Epstein's private island, Little St. James, takes center stage for being the perfect location for Epstein to revel in his vile desires without fear of being caught. Every now and then, the disgraced financier was known to invite certain rich and powerful individuals to his island so he could play host. While some have speculated that the majority of Epstein's guests shared his depraved interests, there's only one way to find out. In this video, I will be revealing 6 rich kids who went on Epstein Island and the events that unfolded during their stay. Leslie Wexner. In the mid-1980s, Les Wexner, the founder of the L Brands retail empire, crossed paths with Jeffrey Epstein through mutual acquaintances who vouched for Epstein's financial expertise. Epstein, known for his self-created mythology of only working with billionaires, saw an opportunity to manage Wexner's personal finances and took over that responsibility. Little did Wexner know the extent of the web he was entering. Wexner, a man of immense wealth and success, placed his complete trust in Epstein. In July 1991, Wexner went as far as granting Epstein power of attorney over his personal fortune, giving him wide latitude to act on his behalf. This level of trust was unprecedented, as Epstein now had the authority to make financial decisions on behalf of one of the richest men in the world. Epstein quickly became deeply involved in Wexner's personal ventures. His signature appeared on real estate documents, tax filings, and corporation records for Wexner's personal holdings. It seemed that Epstein's influence was expanding alongside Wexner's empire. As Wexner's clothing brands, including the lingerie giant Victoria's Secret, gained worldwide recognition, Epstein's wealth and influence grew in tandem. But the true nature of their relationship and the extent of Epstein's involvement in Wexner's affairs would soon come to light. Epstein began to acquire luxury properties around the world, including a 10,000 square foot house adjacent to Wexner's estate in New Albany, Ohio. The proximity of their residences raised eyebrows, as Epstein seemed to be benefiting greatly from his connection to Wexner, and the two men seemed to have formed a connection that went beyond working together. One of the most intriguing properties in Epstein's portfolio was a palatial mansion located at 9 East 71st St. on Manhattan's Upper East Side. Property records showed that Wexner had initially purchased the property through a company he owned in 1989. However, Epstein claimed in a 1996 interview with the New York Times that he owned the property, boasting about his ownership. Conflicting accounts emerged, with Wexner's spokesperson stating that Wexner never resided at the residence and only sold his stake in the company that owned the property to Epstein in 1998. The conflicting accounts concerning the ownership of the Manhattan mansion raised questions about the true nature of the relationship between Wexner and Epstein. To the outside world, it appeared that Epstein was the one benefiting from the property, hosting parties and making it known that he owned it. The details surrounding the transfer of ownership and the benefits Epstein accrued from the property further deepened the mystery. The one thing that became obvious following the debacle was that the financial entanglement between Wexner and Epstein went beyond real estate. Criminologist Tom Volshow and financial investigative journalist Roddy Boyd uncovered a web of trusts connected to Wexner that listed Epstein as a trustee. These trusts, with names like health and science interests, arts interests, and community interests, received large gifts of stock in Wexner's company, The Limited. Between 1991 and 2006, Epstein oversaw the sale of over $1.3 billion of company stock held by these trusts, representing a vast pool of cash largely controlled by Epstein. While some of the money was likely used for charitable purposes, Volshow and Boyd noticed a potential pattern. Epstein would liquidate a significant amount of stock on behalf of these trusts and then make large purchases for himself shortly after, including homes, planes, and even his infamous private island. The source of Epstein's wealth and the timing of these transactions raised eyebrows. With power of attorney granted by Wexner, Epstein had the ability to convert some of Wexner's assets into his own uses. The exact details of how this happened remain unclear, as private bank statements have not been made public. However, the timing and the significant financial transactions suggest a deeper connection between Wexner and Epstein than initially meets the eye. The relationship between Les Wexner and Jeffrey Epstein is a web of trust, manipulation, and alleged financial misappropriation. Wexner's complete trust in Epstein allowed him to gain control over Wexner's personal finances and expand his influence within Wexner's empire. Although many aspects of the relationship between Wexner and Epstein remain shrouded in mystery, it became abundantly clear that the two were more than just business partners when records emerged to show that Epstein hosted Wexner on his private island more than once. The details of the visit are not without public knowledge, but considering the reputation of the island, may have speculated, albeit without proof, that Wexner may have either been involved or at the very least aware of the evil being perpetrated by Epstein. In 2007, Wexner claimed to have cut ties with Epstein after learning about the missing money amid the first federal investigation into Epstein's sexual crimes. Wexner maintains that he had no knowledge of Epstein's sexual predation prior to the investigation. However, questions remain about how much Wexner truly knew and whether he turned a blind eye to Epstein's activities. In the aftermath of Epstein's arrest in 2019, Wexner turned over documents to authorities, further fueling speculation about the extent of their relationship and the secrets that may still be hidden. The timeline and key events of Leslie Wexner's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein paint a picture of a complex and enigmatic connection. Reid Hoffman. Reid Garrett Hoffman was born on August 5, 1967 in Palo Alto, California. From a young age, Hoffman showed a keen interest in technology and entrepreneurship. He attended Stanford University, where he pursued a Bachelor of Science in Symbolic Systems and Cognitive Science. It was during his time at Stanford that Hoffman's passion for the tech industry began to take shape. After completing his undergraduate studies, Hoffman continued his academic journey at Wolfson College, Oxford, as a Marshall Scholar. There he earned a Master of Studies in Philosophy, further expanding his knowledge and intellectual prowess. Hoffman's career in the tech industry kicked off in 1994 when he joined Apple Computer. During his time at Apple, he worked on an early online service called eWorld, gaining valuable experience in the rapidly evolving world of technology. However, it was in the realm of entrepreneurship that Hoffman truly made his mark. In 1997, he co-founded his first company, SocialNet.com. As Hoffman's career progressed, he became increasingly involved in the world of finance and investment. He served on the board of directors for PayPal, revolutionary online payment system, and eventually joined the company full-time as its chief operating officer, COO. This role allowed him to further hone his business acumen and expand his network within the tech industry. In 2002, Hoffman embarked on a groundbreaking endeavor that would solidify his status as a tech pioneer. Alongside two former colleagues from SocialNet.com, he co-founded LinkedIn, a business-oriented social network. LinkedIn quickly gained traction and became one of the first successful platforms of its kind, connecting professionals from around the world. The success of LinkedIn propelled Hoffman into the spotlight, and his stake in the company was estimated to be worth billions of dollars. In 2016, Microsoft recognized the immense value of LinkedIn and acquired the platform for a staggering $26.2 billion. As part of the acquisition, Hoffman joined the board of Microsoft, further cementing his influence in the tech industry. Hoffman's impact extends beyond his involvement with LinkedIn. He has been a driving force in the artificial intelligence (AI) industry, recognizing its potential to revolutionize various sectors. As a founding investor in OpenAI, an AI research company, Hoffman has been at the forefront of advancements in this cutting-edge field. In 2022, Hoffman co-founded Inflection AI, a startup focused on developing AI software products. Through this venture, he continues to champion the development of AI and its potential to solve complex societal problems. Beyond his entrepreneurial ventures, Hoffman is a prolific angel investor, providing financial support to numerous companies across various industries. Hoffman's contributions to the tech industry have not gone unnoticed. He is a published author with books like The Startup of You, The Alliance, and Blitzscaling to his name. These books provide valuable insights into career development, talent management, and the rapid growth of successful companies. In addition to his literary endeavors, Hoffman hosts two popular podcasts, Masters of Scale and Possible. Hoffman's impact extends beyond the business world. He is actively involved in philanthropic efforts, serving on the boards of organizations such as Kiva.org, Endeavor Global, and New America. Through his generous donations, he has made a significant impact in areas such as education, entrepreneurship, and combating food insecurity. Despite his remarkable achievements, Hoffman has not been immune to controversy. His name has been linked to Jeffrey Epstein, a convicted sex offender, after news of his visit to Epstein's private island came to light. Little St. James Island, located in the Caribbean, has gained notoriety due to its association with the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. This private island, often referred to as Pedophile Island, was a playground for the rich and powerful, where Epstein allegedly engaged in illicit activities. It is within this context that Reid Hoffman's visit to the island raises eyebrows and sparks intense speculation. In 2011, Hoffman, accompanied by Joy Ito, the former director of the MIT Media Lab, made a trip to Little St. James Island. The purpose of their visit was to raise funds for the MIT Media Lab, a renowned research institution. However, the association with Epstein's Island immediately drew attention and raised questions about Hoffman's judgment and ethics. The visit came to the knowledge of the general public when Epstein's infamous calendar, which documented documented his social engagements was made public. Hoffman's name appeared in the calendar, indicating his presence on the island. This revelation sent shockwaves through the tech industry and beyond, as people questioned the nature of Hoffman's relationship with Epstein and the implications it might have. It is important to note that Hoffman has publicly acknowledged his association with Epstein and expressed deep regret for his involvement. In a statement, he apologized for any damage caused by his connection to Epstein and emphasized that he was unaware of the extent of Epstein's heinous activities at the time of his visit. Despite Hoffman's apology, the controversy surrounding his visit to Little St. James Island persists. Critics argue that his association with Epstein, even if unintentional, raises serious concerns about his judgment and moral compass. They question how someone of Hoffman's stature and influence could have been unaware of Epstein's criminal activities, given the widespread knowledge of Epstein's reputation. It is worth noting that Hoffman's visit to Little St. James Island does not imply any direct involvement in Epstein's illegal activities. However, the mere association with such a notorious figure has cast a shadow over his career and philanthropic endeavors. Bill Clinton. To fully understand the complicated relationship between former US President Bill Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein, it's important to go back in time to the early 2000s when Epstein was at the height of his power and influence. It was during this time that Epstein's private plane, famously dubbed the Lolita Express, became a symbol of his extravagant lifestyle and the gateway to his private island, where he allegedly engaged in illicit activities with underage girls. There are several varying accounts of when and how both men met and developed a friendship, but the public became privy to the close relationship between two following the first trip that Clinton took on Epstein's plane in 2002, shortly after leaving the presidency. It is reported that Clinton traveled to Africa on a humanitarian mission, accompanied by Epstein. The purpose of this trip was to promote the work of the Clinton Foundation and raise awareness about important issues facing the continent. But as the media continues to dig deeper, it has come to light that there is more to these trips than meets the eye. Some sources suggest that Clinton's association with Epstein went beyond philanthropy and entered into a realm of questionable activities. Rumors and speculation have swirled, suggesting that Clinton may have been involved in the illicit activities that Epstein was later convicted of. These rumors have been fueled by the emergence of recently unsealed court documents about the Epstein case. The documents revealed some shocking allegations and shed light on the involvement of prominent figures, including Bill Clinton. While these documents do not explicitly accuse Clinton of any wrongdoing, they do mention claims made by Epstein that Clinton likes young girls. According to the unsealed documents, Clinton allegedly flew on Epstein's private plane on multiple occasions, significantly more than the public initially thought. This private jet served as a luxurious mode of transportation for Epstein and his wealthy and influential friends, providing them with a discreet means of travel. But what was Clinton doing on this plane? Why would a former US president associate himself with a man like Epstein? These questions have left many perplexed and curious about the nature of their relationship. Some speculate that Clinton's involvement with Epstein may have been purely innocent, while others believe there may be more to the story. The unsealed documents mention that Clinton took several rides on the Lolita Express in 2002 and 2003, raising eyebrows and fueling speculation about his knowledge of Epstein's illegal activities, or even participation. It is important to note that Clinton's spokesperson has emphasized that it has been nearly 2 decades since Clinton had any contact with Epstein. However, the frequency of Clinton's trips on the private plane raises questions about his level of familiarity with Epstein and his activities, but it doesn't stop there. Clinton is also alleged to have visited Epstein's infamous island, known as Little St. James. This private island has gained a reputation for being a secluded retreat where the rich and powerful could engage in illicit activities away from prying eyes. The unsealed documents mention claims made by Epstein's former traveling masseuse, Virginia Giuffre, who stated that Clinton had dinner on the island with 2 young, beautiful girls hanging on his arm. These allegations have sent shockwaves through the media and have further fueled speculation about the nature of Clinton's relationship with Epstein. Giuffre, in a manuscript cited by the Daily Mail, vividly described Clinton's visit to the island. She claimed that Clinton walked into the night with a beautiful woman on each arm, strolling into the darkness with 2 lovely girls around either arm. Giuffre further revealed that Clinton sat next to these girls at dinner, teasing them with playful pokes and brassy comments. The manuscript paints a picture of a night filled with provocative behavior and no modesty between any of them. It is important to note that these allegations have not been proven in a court of law, and Clinton has denied any involvement in Epstein's illegal activities. His team maintains that he has no association with Epstein's crimes and that he has not been accused of any criminal activity related to him. As more information continues to emerge, it is clear that this scandal scandal is far from over. The unsealed court documents have brought Bill Clinton's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein into the spotlight once again, leaving many questioning the nature of their friendship and the extent of Clinton's knowledge about Epstein's activities. Alan Dershowitz. Alan Dershowitz, a name that has become synonymous with high-profile legal battles and controversial clients. With a career spanning nearly 5 decades, Dershowitz has established himself as one of the most prominent lawyers and legal scholars in the United States. Known for his work in U.S. constitutional law and American criminal law, Dershowitz has taken on some of the most challenging and often unpopular causes and clients. From celebrities like Mike Tyson, Patty Hearst, and Julian Assange, to notorious figures like O.J. Simpson, Dershowitz has fearlessly defended individuals accused of heinous crimes. Throughout his career, Dershowitz has been a vocal advocate for his clients, often taking controversial positions and fighting for their rights. He has won the majority of murder and attempted murder cases he has handled, earning him a reputation as a formidable defense attorney. But it is not just his courtroom victories that have made Dershowitz a household name. He has also written extensively on politics and the law, penning books such as The Case for Israel and The Case Against Impeaching Trump. Dershowitz's strong support for Israel and his involvement in public debates on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict have further cemented his position as a prominent legal commentator. Over the years, Dershowitz has represented a wide range of clients, from Harry Reams to Julian Assange, Harvey Weinstein, and even Donald Trump. His willingness to take on challenging cases and his commitment to defending the Constitution have made him a sought-after legal expert and a controversial figure in the public eye. Dershowitz's involvement in high-profile cases, combined with Epstein's connections, created a dynamic where their paths would intersect on multiple occasions. When the two men eventually crossed paths, they developed a rather complex relationship. After getting to know each other, Alan Dershowitz and Jeffrey Epstein were not just acquaintances, they became close friends. Their friendship spanned many years and was marked by shared interests and connections in the legal and social spheres. Both Dershowitz and Epstein were highly influential figures in their respective fields. Dershowitz, a renowned lawyer and legal scholar, and Epstein, a wealthy financier with connections to powerful individuals from various industries. During their friendship, Epstein's private island, Little St. James, became a meeting place for the rich and powerful, and Dershowitz was no stranger to this exclusive retreat. It is on this island that some of the alleged illicit activities took place, according to the recently unsealed documents pertaining to the Epstein case. The documents, which have brought to light several details about Epstein and his associates, have revealed a dark and disturbing side to Dershowitz's involvement with Epstein. One of the most serious allegations is that Dershowitz not only knew about Epstein's activities, but also participated in them. Dershowitz allegedly engaged in sexual relations with a minor, identified as Jane Doe #3, who was forced by Epstein to have sexual encounters with powerful individuals. According to the documents, Dershowitz is accused of having sexual relations with Jane Doe #3 on numerous occasions while she was a minor. These encounters allegedly took place not only in Florida but also on private planes, in New York, New Mexico, and even on Epstein's private island, the infamous Little St. James. Dershowitz has vehemently denied these allegations, stating that he did nothing wrong and demanding the release of all documents to prove his innocence. He has claimed that the woman who initially accused him later withdrew her lawsuit, suggesting that she may have misidentified him. In his defense, Dershowitz has also questioned the credibility of the allegations, pointing out the hypocrisy of certain groups and movements. He has criticized radical feminists, the Me Too movement, and even brought up the Hamas rapes of young Jewish girls, claiming that these issues receive less attention. The allegations against Dershowitz have sparked a heated debate, with supporters and critics weighing in on the credibility of the claims. The truth behind these allegations is yet to be fully determined, and further investigation is needed to uncover the facts. Even as new information continues to surface, Dershowitz has consistently maintained his innocence, vehemently denying any wrongdoing. He has emphasized that he was not aware of Epstein's illegal activities and that he had no involvement in them. The allegations against Dershowitz, coupled with the ongoing investigations into Epstein's network, have raised significant concerns and cast a shadow over their friendship. The true nature of their relationship and the extent of their involvement in each other's lives continue to be subjects of scrutiny and investigation. Jean-Luc Brunel. In the late 1970s, Jean-Luc Brunel began his career as a modeling scout for Carin Models, a prestigious agency in Paris. With his keen eye for talent and his ability to spot potential in young models, Brunel quickly rose through the ranks. By 1978, he had become the head of Carin Models, solidifying his position as a prominent figure in the fashion industry. During this time, Brunel's reputation as an abuser of young models began to emerge. In a shocking 60 Minutes investigation in 1988, several American models came forward with allegations of sexual assault against him. These brave women described a culture of abuse and exploitation fostered by Brunel, where models were routinely drugged and subjected to sexual abuse. Despite the allegations, Brunel's career continued to flourish. In 1988, he and his brother Arnaud founded the Next Management Corporation, a global modeling agency. The Brunel brothers, along with Faith Cates, formed the Next Management Company in 1989, with Cates owning a majority stake in the company. However, their partnership was short-lived, as Brunel split off from Next Management Company in April 1996, leading to a legal battle between the Brunel brothers and the company. It was during the early 2000s that Brunel's association with Jeffrey Epstein began. Epstein, a billionaire financier with a notorious reputation, had a keen interest in the fashion industry and sought to establish his own modeling agency. Brunel, with his extensive connections and experience, seemed like the perfect partner for Epstein's venture. Epstein provided Brunel with substantial financial support, reportedly giving him up to $1 million in 2004 to help launch a new modeling agency called MC2 Model Management. With Epstein's funding, Brunel transformed Karen Model's US division into MC2 Model Management, opening offices in New York City and Miami in 2005. The agency's name MC2 was a nod to Epstein, referencing Einstein's equation for mass energy equivalency, E=mca2. It was a subtle yet chilling reminder of the power dynamics at play in Epstein's world. Under the umbrella of MC2, Brunel's agency represented numerous high-profile clients, including Nordstrom, Macy's Inc., Saks Fifth Avenue, and Neiman Marcus, among others. The agency's success and connections allowed Brunel to further expand his influence in the fashion industry. However, as Brunel's career soared, so did the allegations against him. Virginia Roberts-Giuffre, one of Epstein's accusers, claimed in a 2014 court filing that Brunel had sexually trafficked girls for Epstein. She alleged that Epstein had bragged to her about sleeping with over 1,000 of Brunel's girls. Brunel vehemently denied any involvement in illegal activities with Epstein, stating that he strongly denied having committed any illicit acts or wrongdoing in his work as a scout or manager of model agencies. However, flight logs from Epstein's private plane revealed that Brunel had been listed as a passenger on 25 trips between 1998 and 2005. Furthermore, Brunel's frequent visits to the jail where Epstein was held in 2008 raised eyebrows. Records show that he made at least 70 visits to the facility during that time, further fueling speculation about the nature of their relationship. In 2015, Brunel sued Epstein, claiming that he and MC2 had suffered significant losses in the modeling business as a result of Epstein's illegal actions. He also alleged that Epstein had obstructed justice by directing him to avoid having his deposition taken in the criminal case against Epstein. However, the lawsuit was ultimately dismissed, leaving many unanswered questions about the extent of Brunel's involvement in Epstein's activities. As the allegations against Epstein and his associates continued to mount, Brunel's reputation became increasingly tarnished. In 2019, he was named in court documents from a civil suit filed by Virginia Roberts-Giuffre against Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's alleged accomplice. The unsealed documents shed light on Brunel's alleged role in the sex trafficking ring orchestrated by Epstein and Maxwell. Brunel's last public appearance was on July 5, 2019 at the Paris Country Club. Following Epstein's death in August 2019, Brunel went into hiding, prompting the French National Police to launch an investigation into his activities. In September 2019, his Paris home and offices were searched by French investigators as part of a probe into sex trafficking by Epstein. Finally, on December 16, 2020, Brunel was intercepted by police at Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris as he attempted to board a flight to Dakar, Senegal. He was placed under custody for questioning in relation to rape, sexual assault, criminal conspiracy and human trafficking, all involving minors. Tragically, Brunel's life came to a sudden end on February 19, 2022, when he was found dead in his jail cell in La Santarcy prison. The cause of death was reported as suicide by hanging. The shocking revelations surrounding Jean-Luc Brunel's early career and his association with Jeffrey Epstein have shed light on the dark underbelly of the fashion industry and the disturbing connections that allowed such abuses to persist. In the next section, we will delve deeper into the allegations against Brunel and the speculation surrounding his activities on Epstein's private island, Little St. James, Prince Andrew. In order to understand The shocking allegations surrounding Prince Andrew's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein and his scandalous visits to Epstein Island, it is important to delve into the timeline of their association. Let's take a closer look at the key events that unfolded over the years. It all began in the early 1990s when Prince Andrew first crossed paths with Epstein, who at the time was well known for his connections to the rich and powerful. Their introduction came through their mutual friend Ghislaine Maxwell, who would later become a central figure in the scandal. As their friendship grew, Prince Andrew found himself drawn into Epstein's world of luxury and excess. The two men were often seen together at various social events and parties, rubbing shoulders with the elite. However, it wasn't until the early 2000s that the true nature of Epstein's activities began to surface. In 2005, Epstein was charged with multiple counts of sexual abuse involving underage girls. Despite the mounting allegations, Prince Andrew continued his association with Epstein. In fact, he even visited Epstein's various properties around the world, including his luxurious mansion in Palm Beach, Florida, and Epstein Island. One of the most significant events in their relationship occurred in 2008, when Epstein pleaded guilty to soliciting prostitution from a minor. This conviction shed light on the extent of Epstein's crimes and raised questions about those who associated with him. Despite the public scrutiny, Prince Andrew maintained his friendship with Epstein. In 2010, he was photographed walking through Central Park with Epstein, sparking outrage and further fueling the controversy surrounding their relationship. The true extent of Prince Andrew's involvement with Epstein came to light in 2015, when one of Epstein's victims, Virginia Giuffre, filed a defamation lawsuit against Ghislaine Maxwell. In her lawsuit, Giuffre alleged that she was forced to have sexual relations with Prince Andrew while she was underage. She also claimed that on one occasion she had participated in a group scene with Prince Andrew, Epstein, and a few other girls on the infamous Epstein Island. These shocking allegations sent shockwaves through the media and the public. Prince Andrew vehemently denied any wrongdoing, stating that he had no recollection of ever meeting Giuffre. On the other hand, Giuffre claims that she met him as a minor and that on the first night they met, they visited a club with Ghislaine and Epstein. Upon their return, Giuffre claims that Prince Andrew took advantage of her for the first time. In 2019, Prince Andrew's association with Epstein reached a boiling point when he agreed to participate in a televised interview with the BBC. However, the interview backfired spectacularly, with Prince Andrew's responses being widely criticized and deemed insensitive. During the interview, Andrew denied knowing or having any sexual relationship with Giuffre. He also challenged the authenticity of a picture of him, Giuffre and Ghislaine Maxwell that had begun circulating in the media. The fallout from the interview was swift and severe. Prince Andrew announced that he would be stepping back from his public duties, and many organizations and institutions severed ties with him. In 2022, Prince Andrew settled a lawsuit filed by Virginia Giuffre, paying her an undisclosed financial settlement. However, he did so without admitting any liability. Despite the settlement, the allegations and controversies surrounding Prince Andrew's relationship with Epstein continue to haunt him. His future within the British royal family remains uncertain, and the public's perception of him has been forever altered. As the investigation into Epstein's crimes and those associated with him continues, the full truth may never be known. But one thing is clear: the scandal surrounding Prince Andrew's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein has forever changed the narrative surrounding the British royal family. With each passing day, more details about the horrific nature of Epstein's case come to light. And although Epstein himself has passed, the world continues to watch eagerly, hoping to see his co-conspirators and enablers. Check out this video to learn more about the latest developments in the Epstein case.